On November 29, 1861, in the midst of the American Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln signed the act that officially created the Colorado Territory. This pivotal moment brought federal structure to a rapidly growing region transformed by the Pikes Peak Gold Rush of 1858 to 1861, which had drawn tens of thousands of fortune seekers into the Rocky Mountains. Before territorial organization, the land that would become Colorado was divided, on paper, between Kansas, Nebraska, Utah, and New Mexico territories. In reality, federal authority barely reached the isolated mining camps and frontier settlements scattered across the mountains and plains. Communities often relied on miners' courts, makeshift councils, and informal codes to settle disputes. By 1860, the population had surged past 34,000, clustered in boom towns like Denver, Golden, Central City, Black Hawk, and the Clear Creek Mining District. Gold shipments proved that the region was no temporary rush, but the lawlessness and lack of unified governance threatened long-term stability. With the Civil War beginning and the Union anxious to solidify loyalty in the West, Congress acted. When Congress established the new territory, it chose the name Colorado. Drawn from early Spanish explorers who had described the great river system of the Southwest as El Rio Colorado, the Reddish River, for the distinctive red silt that colored its waters. Although the upper portion of that river in present-day Colorado was then known as the Grand River. Congress adopted the broader Spanish name for the entire region. The name symbolized both the natural landscape and the rich mineral colors found throughout the territory's mountains and canyons. Lincoln's approval of the Territorial Act provided Colorado with a territorial governor and administrative officers, a formal court system, county governments, and elected legislators, federal law enforcement, clarified land, mining, and tax regulations, as well as representation in Washington via a non-voting delegate. For the first time, the region had a cohesive governmental framework capable of supporting long-term growth. The new legislature met for the first time in Golden City in 1862, which served as the territorial capital from 1862 until 1867. Golden's location near the mining districts made it a natural early choice. Only later, through political maneuvering, population shifts, and transportation changes, did Denver ultimately secure the capital for good. The formation of the Colorado Territory signaled opportunity for thousands of settlers, but it also intensified pressures on the native nations who had inhabited the region for generations. The territory included lands of the Ute, Cheyenne, Arapaho, and others. As more settlers arrived, federal treaties were repeatedly rewritten or ignored, leading to conflict and tragedy, including the Sand Creek Massacre 3 years later, on November 29, 1864. Territorial status allowed Colorado to develop infrastructure, attract investment, and create lasting institutions. Railroads arrived by the late 1860s, tying the territory more closely to national markets and accelerating Denver's rise as a transportation hub. The organization of the Colorado Territory marked a turning point in the development of the American West. It transformed a collection of isolated mining camps into a unified territory, established the legal and political framework that would guide its path to statehood, and secured the region's importance during one of the most turbulent eras in American history. From rough miners' courts to a fully functioning government, Colorado's rise began in earnest on this November day.